Hi, I'm new here. New to sharing my story, new to the feelings I've been grappling with, and new to understanding how a single decision can lead to a path you never thought you'd walk. I've been married for 2 years now. We were high school sweethearts and have been on and off for years before we finally tied the knot. At 22, I thought I had my life figured out, or at least, I believed I was heading in the right direction. It all began one evening when my husband was invited to a bachelor party and a reunion with some of his friends from his Navy days. I wasn't too concerned at first. It sounded like a fun night for him. Around midnight, though, I received a text from one of the wives of his friends, letting me know that my husband had had too much to drink and wasn't in a position to drive himself home. She provided me with the address, and I reluctantly made my way across town to pick him up. When I arrived, I was greeted by one of his friends. He seemed a little rough around the edges, loud and slightly rude, likely due to the amount of alcohol he had consumed. He chuckled as he told me my husband was passed out in a room, adding unnecessary comments about how he'd always been a lightweight. I brushed it off, my focus solely on getting my husband home. When I saw my husband, he was completely blacked out. No matter how much I tried to wake him, he wouldn't budge. I even attempted to lift him, but it was impossible. Frustrated, I asked his friend for help, but instead of assisting, he dragged me to the bathroom, angrily ranting about how my husband had made a mess by getting sick. I was embarrassed and upset. The situation was overwhelming, and I found myself on the verge of tears. Seeing my distress, the friend softened his tone and offered me a drink to calm down. I hesitated but eventually accepted, trying to compose myself in this unfamiliar environment. As we talked, I started to feel a strange connection. Maybe it was the exhaustion, the frustration, or just the moment itself, but when he leaned in closer, I didn't pull away. What began as an innocent conversation turned into something I never expected. I let the moment happen, knowing full well that it was a choice, a decision I was making despite knowing its implications. The secrecy, the rush of adrenaline, and the sheer newness of it all were intoxicating. It wasn't about love, and it wasn't about revenge. It was about stepping out of the boundaries I had always followed and into a world I didn't know existed for me. When it was over, I felt a strange mix of guilt and exhilaration. As I left to head home, my thoughts raced. I couldn't believe what had just happened, and yet, a part of me felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, a spark of independence, however misplaced it might have been. That night marked the beginning of something I hadn't anticipated, a desire to explore the forbidden. It was never about my husband or our relationship, but about understanding a side of myself I had never confronted before. Looking back now, I know the choices I made were wrong. They led to lies, deceit, and a path I'll always regret taking. But this experience taught me something profound about human nature and the complexities of relationships, lessons I'll carry with me as I move forward.